This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good morning, my Real News Media TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning for January 9, 2023, gunman shoots a one during robbery, flees leaving loaded magazine. A gunman shot one of two men and fled with more than $30,000, but left behind a loaded magazine during a robbery Sunday morning. The high drama took place in Red Ground District in Old Harbor, St. Catherine. The 20-year-old injured man has been admitted to hospital while his friend escaped injuries after he promptly fled the scene. Police reports are that around 3:35 a.m., both men drove up to a premises after attending a wake at Barton's District, Old Harbor, when they were pounced upon by a man armed with a handgun. The driver of the vehicle immediately fled upon seeing the gunman, leaving the now injured man behind. The police said the gunman stole $35,000 from the vehicle, took the remaining victim further up the Red Ground main road near Hampstead Spring, shot him in the head and fled. The police were summoned and found the man suffering from a gunshot wound to his head. He was rushed to the Old Harbor Operation Support Unit Hospital, where he was admitted in critical condition. The police, while processing the crime scene, discovered that the gunman left behind a Glock magazine containing 16 live 9mm rounds. St. James, a laborer charged for robbery at Mobay supermarket. A St. James laborer has been charged in connection with the October 2022 robbery at a supermarket in Montego Bay. 51-year-old Richard Dixon, otherwise called Tony, was charged on Friday with robbery with aggravation and illegal possession of a firearm following an identification parade. The police report that at 9 p.m. on October 1 last year, Dixon, who is from San Orange in St. James, went to the supermarket and held up a security guard at gunpoint. A tussle ensued during which shots rang out injuring Dixon, the police reported. According to the police, he then disarmed the security guard of his licensed firearm and ran from the supermarket. Excavation find triggers a frenzy in quiet Hanover community despite uncertainty. Scores of people have been descending on a property in Chester Castle, Hanover, after news began to swirl that deposits of what residents believe to be gold had been located while digging a pit. Ralston Cole, who occupies the property located in a section of the community called Topland, told the news that the discovery was made shortly after they hired the services of a heavy equipment operator to do excavation works as a house is being constructed there. Them started dig the pit Tuesday, and after about 10 feet down, them see an unusual soil coming from out of the pit, said Cole. The unusual soil carries some gold-looking thing. It's a mineral, so people from all over come now and say it look like gold. So them started to dig out the earth and find the things them what looking like gold. Cole admitted that they were still unsure as to what the substance or the shiny objects found were. He is calling on government mining specialists or geologists to come in and conduct soil testing and make an assessment of the mineral. However, the uncertainty was not enough to deter the throng of people who turned up at the location. Dozens of people from miles around turned up with machetes, digging away and loading buckets of the shiny rock to take away. Several young men could be heard shouting that they were now rich. Others were already making plans to better their lives from the sale of the find if it turns out to be gold deposits. Jamaica's first known gold mine was located in Pennant, Clarendon. It was operated by Australian company Ozjam, which began mining on expectations that it would have extracted 35,000 ounces of 9 and 15-carat nuggets. But by December 2002, it had only yielded 12,000 ounces, and the geologists suggested that only another 3,000 to 4,000 ounces remained to be extracted. The company closed its operations in 2003, citing financial woes because of low ore grades. Recent works have been carried out by Canada-based mining exploration company C3 Metals Incorporation and Geofix Jamaica through separate operations have raised the antennas of residents, increasing speculation that communities within the parish's northern belt might have reserves of gold and other valuable minerals. Robert Stewart, managing director of Geofix Jamaica, told the news last August that while copper and gold traces have been discovered in the area, there have been nothing conclusive at the time. Stewart said historically there are values of gold in the soil in the area, and the samples taken will show a higher than average reading. Gold may have weathered over time, transitioning into the soil, he said. It's what they call micron gold, little microscopic particles of gold. So it is there, but it's not like nuggets of gold. However, it means that there might be a system in the area, Stewart said then. It may be small, it may not be viable, but nobody to date has actually proven a system is there. Trade union leader wants the finance ministry to wrap up police wage negotiations. The Union of Clerical, Administrative and Supervisory Employees, UCAS, says it is now gearing up to commence wage negotiations with the Ministry of Finance on behalf of 15 units in the government service. UK's President Vincent Morrison says his group is becoming increasingly frustrated with the delay in commencing negotiations under the Compensation Review Program. Mr. Morrison has declared that the union will not accept the current offer on the table. The UK's president is warning that the government is putting the country's national security at risk with the long delay in setting wage negotiations with the police.
We have groups like the National Housing Trust, Financial Services Commission, the dental doctors. In fact, I spoke to the officials of the ministry on Friday, and we should be setting some dates early Monday, Tuesday to start with the dental surgeon. No, we believe it's a letdown because, you know, the year before we were told by the ministry that accept the 2.5%, and by accepting 2.5%, better would have been done in 21, 22, and beyond. 22, 23, and beyond. This is not the case. This is not the case. In fact, based on what has been coming out of the public service, offers have been made that have been reduced benefits, not only benefits, but, you know, salary scales that were in place before. And with the taxation, there's no movement in taxation as it relates to these issues. The workers are going to be worse off. But I think if we're really serious about crime, then the police arrangement, their collective labor agreement, their bargaining arrangement should be the first. That is, there's no question. I mean, every group is important. The nurses, the doctors, the dental surgeon, everybody is important. The teachers, extremely important. But we have seen the ugly head of crime rising to a level that, you know, it's frightening. And I'm using this medium to call upon the Minister of Finance of the government to move it towards this in dealing with the police arrangements.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.